What's going on, everybody? It's the First Down in Philly pod. We got a little pregame show going on. Everybody, it's the fucking playoffs. Let's go. Let's go. I know you heard that. Let's go. I ain't going to show they name because I ain't got no sponsor by them. Yeah, but there you go, baby. Let's go. Let's get this thing popping. Shout out to everybody that liked and subscribed to videos. I really appreciate y'all out there. So playoffs have started. We got the Birds and 49ers today. Real quick before we get no, let's just go right to that. We go to that later. Great week of football starting off on Thursday between the Ole Miss and Miami game, which was amazing. Great game. Kind of a little pulling a little bit for Ole Miss, but I had no money or nothing like that. Any of that involved in that game, but that was an amazing game. But Oregon was a little bit of a letdown. I kind of knew it was going to be a blowout, but like I said, I should have posted these stuff up before. Yesterday, I knew that Carolina was going to cover that 10.5. I had them covering 10.5, and actually the Rams winning that game, and I predicted that. But I left the Bears game alone. But I'll get into those games later. So we got the Eagles playing the San Francisco 49ers at 4:30 today. I mean, it's not that much to say about these games. I mean, everybody overanalyze. If you even watch some of these games, people, they overanalyze the games, and then one day they this, and one day they that, and one day they this, and one day they that. So it's very simple. It's as simple as can be. It's going to come down to play calling and the players executing. Well, executing first and the play calling after that. San Fran been playing with I know they've been playing with a softer schedule than most of the teams they're in the playoffs. Yes and no, but they did play, Seattle and who else they played twice? Seattle and the Rams twice. So they hung in there with them. I know the last game they played, they lost to Seattle at home, 13-3. They couldn't move the ball or anything like that. So they showed something there. I think Seattle has a really, really good defense, and Seattle wanted that first seed. So that was a little bit of a rivalry game too. So it has something to that. So the Eagles right now are, I believe they were a 5.5 point or 6 point favorite right now, which is crazy. I don't know how this game is going to turn out. It's still up in the air for me, and I don't know. This is weird. I think it's going to be closer than the 5.5 or 6 that they saying that we're favored by. Only because I think that Purdy's looking good right now. McCaffrey, put it this way. We have to slow down McCaffrey as much as we can. And also Kittle. They don't really have the outside receivers like they did last year or the year before that. Ayuk never played the entire season. Percival has been hurt off and on all season. Jennings is not a real threat, but he's a good receiver, but he's not like a real threat. So most of their offense is going through McCaffrey and Kittle. I think Williams is not playing the All-Pro tackle. He's out of the game. I know they lost Bosa earlier this season. They lost Warner, the linebacker. So they lost two big major parts of their defense, their heart and soul, pretty much, earlier this season. So their defense was then hanging in there, but they're not great. But Solid is a really good defensive coordinator, so he'll figure out some ways to make things a little difficult for us today. But I'm just concerned about our rushing attack. I'm really concerned about that. I think if we run the ball, we will win this game a little bit easier. If we can't get the run game going, I think San Francisco can hang around. I like our defense. I think they're solid. They're playing better, but I can't really say too much about that considering we played the Raiders Then we played Washington. Then we played Buffalo. Which Buffalo's a good team, but they didn't really have no threat on the outside receivers. So I don't really gauge that too much, but they can run the ball, but we did slow the ball. I mean, the run game down. Plus, the weather was really bad for both sides of the ball. So, you know, but that's still no excuse for us not to move the ball in the second half. But we already talked about that. So we lost to Washington at the end of the season, which I understand that you're trying to rest guys to, make sure nobody get hurt or anything like that. But I think you should have played for a half because they don't deserve that rest right now, because considering how the offense hasn't been clicking as much as it has. It hasn't been clicking all season. So therefore, I would at least play them for the first half, at least, just to get, keep them playing like that. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that just because Vegas got us winning, got us with these big numbers like that. I would love for them to win easy. But I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit tighter game than people are expecting it to be. So I'm looking at maybe like a 24-16 type of game, somewhere in that range. But I hope it's a blowout, like I said before. But if they blow them out, that means that run game was rolling, or we got a lot of turnovers. And when we get turnovers and work with a short field, that's when people, teams get, start to not be as good as they were if their offense wasn't moving the ball, something like that. So basically, protect the ball, run the football, okay? Because we, already know if we run the ball, we're a much more effective team. Play tight defense, try to shut down McCaffrey as best way you can to him and Kittle, and I think we will win easily. But like I said, if we don't do those, San Francisco is going to be in this game if they cannot run the ball. And if San Francisco doesn't turn the ball over, it's going to be a long game, and it's going to be one of them nail biters all the way to the end. So it might come down to the kicking. So therefore, that's my thought on this game. I believe the Eagles will win 20-16. It's going to be a closer game because, like I said, the run game hasn't been really that great all season. So, and then Kyle Shanahan going against Fangio, that's going to be a great matchup. And then, Patullo going against Salas. Salas is a very good defensive coordinator. He does a lot of things well with what he has now. So, I mean, you was 12-5 for a reason. You was 12-5 for a reason. So I'm not going to take any of that away because every week it's really hard to win in the NFL. So therefore, I'm not going to take anything away from San Francisco. But 2016, if we lose this game, I'll be a little bit surprised. But I still think it's going to be a close game. So I got the Bears winning today. Also, there's some other games going on. I know, the Jacksonville Buffalo game is really intriguing. I'm really hoping that Buffalo pulls this out. It's not because I'm a Buffalo fan. I'm really a Josh Allen fan. So, but this game right here, I can't put my finger on. It wouldn't surprise me if Jacksonville won. Only because Buffalo has been as a whole, the team as a whole, I don't think they're as good as they were a couple of years ago. So I know they're saying, well, Mahomes out here and Burrow's out there. Yeah, I get all that, but like I keep telling people, like the way you win championships is because your team is a good team. So therefore, Buffalo is kind of like so. Don't really have no real threat on the outside. Got solid, tight ends with Knox and who else they got? I can't forget the other guy. He went to Utah. But anyway, it's just like, I mean, Cooks is a really good running back. Josh Allen has to be Superman for them to win a lot of close games like that. So we'll see. I'm pulling for Buffalo, but Jacksonville defense is really tough. And Buffalo's defense is good against the pass, but they're not really good against the run. So we'll see. They played well the last 3 games defensively wise. So we'll see what happens in that game. I'm really pulling for Buffalo in that game. And we also have what's up? Oh yeah, the Chargers versus New England. That should be a really good game. I want, like I said before, I'm just doing this, being a fan. I'm a big fan of Justin Herbert. So I'm really looking for them to win, but the offensive line is really, really bad. So I don't expect a whole lot of points in this game because the Chargers defense is really tight. But I'm pulling for the Chargers. I think they might pull that victory out. I think they might steal this game. So I'm looking at like a low scoring game, like maybe 23-20, something like that. Somewhere like it's a field goal game. So I'm pulling for the Chargers. I think New England has a very, very good future with May. I think they need to get a number one receiver, something like that, to, because next year, they're going to change their defenses up and try to get this dude confused. But Vrabel's a fucking hell of a coach, excuse my language, but it's a great coach. So I'm going to go with the Chargers. Like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose, but only because their offensive line is really, really bad. It's been bad all season when they lost their 2 all-pro tackles. When you lose them 2 all-pro tackles and a guard in the beginning of the season, you're going to struggle. Herbert's going to get hit a lot. He got hit a lot this year anyway, so that's why his numbers decline. But I'm going to stick with them only because of Herbert. But like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if New England win. And also, we got the Pittsburgh and Houston game. That should be a very entertaining game. Houston really can't run the ball, but they can move the ball a little bit. It's kind of weird. Nico Collins is good. Outside receiver, and Stroud is like, he's good, but he can get out. He get rolling out the pocket and be a little difficulty for Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh defense is tight, but Houston defense is absolutely the best defense in the NFL. Everybody knows that. So it would come down to if Houston could get pressure, which they do with a lot of teams, but if they get enough pressure on Aaron Rodgers without blitzing, it causes problems. So we'll see what happens in that game. I'm leaning towards Pittsburgh, just a slight midge. Like I said before, it wouldn't surprise me if Houston wins that game also. So I'm just leaning for Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and the Chargers for this weekend, and also the Eagles. Like I said before, I want them to get their run game going so we can get this thing popping. So I'll see y'all after the game. Apologies for all this stuff like that, man. This is a holiday season. This is not like I'm sitting in the house all day and I got a regular job like everybody else. So when I gotta come home, do some things, and my mom and my wife, not like crazy stuff, but just enough to get you not doing what you want to do, that you want to do regularly. So yeah, I got the player up there going. So go Birds. I see you in the post game. Hopefully, I ain't gonna be cursing all over the place because we'll see what happens. All right, get the run game going. Hopefully, we'll win this game and then go to the next round and head to Chicago. All right, so I'll see you in the post game. Peace. Go Birds. Get it in, y'all.